When a teenage boy died 2,300 years ago in Egypt, he was mummified and adorned with 49 protective amulets and a golden mask to guide him in the afterlife. Scans have been used to digitally unwrap ancient Egypt's golden boy, and it's easy to see how this privileged teen got his nickname. The mummy had 49 amulets made of gold, stone, and semiprecious stones carefully placed inside and around his body, including a golden heart scarab beetle placed inside the chest and a golden tongue laid inside the mouth. Stay tuned to find out more. The teenage boy, thought to have been between 14 and 15 years old, also the CT scans showed the boy was 128 cm tall. He also wore a gilded head mask inlaid with stones and a protective covering called a cartonnage across his torso. All of his organs had been removed with the exception of his heart and his brain replaced with resin. It was first recovered in 1916 at a cemetery used between approximately 332 and 30 BCE in Nag el-Hassay, southern Egypt. A team recently decided to take a closer look at the remains of the teen, who they have nicknamed Golden Boy. Using computerized tomography (CT) scans, they were able to digitally unwrap the remains without physically disturbing them, a method that has come into favor in recent years rather than destroying the wrappings. Researchers used the CT scans to learn more about the teen. In the past, mummified remains were subject to unwrapping and invasive dissection for research or entertainment. But now, CT scanning has allowed scientists to digitally unwrap mummified remains to reveal important details while keeping the body intact. The new scans show the mummy's amulets were placed in a unique 3-column arrangement. They are 21 different shapes and sizes, each revealing more about the beliefs ancient Egyptians held surrounding death and the afterlife. For example, a golden tongue amulet placed inside the boy's mouth was meant to ensure he could speak in the afterlife, while an Aces knot invoked the protective power of the Egyptian goddess Aces. A right-angle amulet was used to bring balance and leveling to the deceased. They also found that the boy had excellent dental hygiene and was likely of high socioeconomic status given the quality and presentation of his mummification. Although no signs of illness were evident from the CT scan and a cause of death can't be determined, there was nothing to suggest an unnatural death. According to the researchers, the study of ancient Egyptian mummies offered the chance to learn more about ancient human health beliefs and skills. Sahar Salim, a radiologist at Cairo University and first author on the paper, noted that the boy's adornments are in line with some of the rituals outlined in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, including a pair of white sandals found on his feet and ferns wreathed around his body. The sandals were probably meant to enable the boy to walk out of the coffin. According to the ancient Egyptians' ritual Book of the Dead, the deceased had to wear white sandals to be pious and clean before reciting its verses, Salim said in a statement. Ancient Egyptians were fascinated by plants and flowers and believed they possessed sacred and symbolic effects. Bouquets of plants and flowers were placed beside the deceased at the time of burial. The Egyptians believed life didn't end with death. Instead, there was an afterlife. The process of mummification and laying in ornaments, amulets, and plants were designed to help the spirit of the dead navigate through the afterlife. Golden Boy provides more evidence for the funerary rituals and importance of these ornaments during the boy's life in the Ptolemaic period. By collecting data using the CT scans, the researchers were able to 3D print a copy of the heart scarab. The heart scarab is mentioned in Chapter 30 of the Book of the Dead. It was important in the afterlife during judging the deceased and weighing of the heart against the feather of the goddess Ma'at. Salim continued about the team's findings. The heart scarab silenced the heart on Judgment Day, so as not to bear witness against the deceased. It was placed inside the torso cavity during mummification to substitute for the heart if the body was ever deprived of this organ. History behind the Egyptian mummy revealed. Egyptian mummies were created following certain spiritual beliefs. Over millions of years ago, the ancient Egyptians considered that every living being possessed a vital force or spirit, known as Ka, that parted from the living body after death. It also has a human-headed bird expressing the mobility of the soul after death, known as Ba. Upon death, Ka, that was still consuming the individual's spiritual essence, would require food offerings. On the other hand, Ba, resembling a set of spiritual aspects unique to an individual, would remain attached to a body even after death and return every night to attain new life. Thus, Egyptians preserved the human body after death to keep the soul safe through the process of mummification. Although the pharaohs and other rich, influential people of Egyptian society elaborately performed this practice, it built the foundation of Egyptian religion. Process of mummification. Mummification is called the process of embalming or continuous drying of the dead body to preserve it after death. In ancient times, mummification was an omnipresent and honored tradition inculcated with profound religious effectiveness and mostly performed by trained professionals. It was the practice of securing the soul of an individual upon death and the existential belief of the afterlife. Though the process of mummification was widely practiced among various societies and cultures, the most commonly known as the Egyptian society, followed by the Chinese, the Guanches, and a few more ancient societies. The entire mummification technique in ancient Egypt underwent a gruesome and lengthy process. Here is a stepwise detailed description of mummification and how are mummies preserved. Step 1. Announcing the death. Step 2. Embalming and purifying the body. Step 3. Discarding the brain from the dead body. Step 4. Removal of the internal organs. Step 5. Drying out the body. Step 6. Stuffing the body. Step 7. Wrapping up the body and adding amulets. Step 8. Final decoration. The golden boy has been moved to the main exhibition hall of the Egyptian Museum and will be surrounded by CT images and the copy of the heart scarab to provide more insight into the mummification process and the death rites of ancient Egyptians. The display's goal was to humanize this individual from the past to teach modern people about life in ancient times, the researchers wrote in the study. What do you think of the golden boy and the results of the CT scans? We really like it. Let us know in the comments below. And most importantly, if you wish to be updated about more history viral videos, you should consider to subscribing to our channel and pressing the bell icon so we can make more videos for you. Also, thank you for watching the videos and we will see you in the next video. For seeing more videos about ancient Egypt, please watch our playlist for more interesting videos about Egypt.